micro savings, organic farming, dairy, which we finally made some progress on, a bed and breakfast that would be part of a hub of farm stays. So the farmers that own the cows each have been tasked with having one bedroom available for guests. So if you come up to visit, it's part of philanthropic tourism. You can visit all the craft workshops, all the little dairy farms, all the little monasteries, and spend the night at these handmade, beautiful Sherpa traditional houses. So we wanted to have one bed and breakfast that was kind of ground zero for the tourism part of what we want to do. And we feel that the tourism and the crafts can work really well together, so that the weaving section that we want to keep moving can't make it alone on Color by Amber orders, or at least not yet, maybe they will in the future. But they need other clients too.
Do you speak a lot of English around there or no?
No. No, we need translators, so not much. So this is the beginning of the building of the first bed and breakfast, and there's the final. It is a beautiful little 10-room with in-suite bathrooms. This building behind it is an elementary school, so the kids tromp by in the morning on their way to school. This is the view. Numbor is the mountain. And our partner in this is Dolma Sherpa, who's Lakpa's cousin, and she was head of the Sir Edmund Hillary Hospital next door for many years, and she retired and owned the land, so we all pooled some money to build the thing. And behind these windows is our temporary weaving center. Oh, that's the digging of the septic system by hand. Nobody has in-suite bathrooms. There is no house that doesn't have an outhouse, so this was a whole new concept for them. And I was really hammering home, got to have every bedroom needs its own bathroom. That way we get people who will pay better money. So they took the advice, they built the bathroom, and here is it's a panoramic view, but it's tile. It is a really nice bathroom. And these are building of the bedrooms. And temporary, because our curtains, our sheets, we have some larger sort of commercial carpet stuff that's going in. It's all stuck at the border right now. So we don't have that stuff. We got 6 beds before the border closed, so, but they're really comfortable beds. That's the other thing I'm sort of a stickler about. I like comfortable beds. That's the kitchen, hallways. It's all a little bit further along now. And we think by next spring it will be much further along. So this is a loom that we built up there, and we've been training the trainers. So this program has been going on for about 4 years. This is Sarita. She's our head weaving trainer. And we have lots of great colors we can play with. We also did some crochet. We're still trying to figure out how to make this work for Color by Amber. But we crocheted a lot of our raffia waste. So this is used in other products. And now, you know the green raffia that's in your, yeah, so this is the same raffia. We were trying to do something else with the waste where we could tie little ends of it together and crochet it. So what we did was a line of flowers for hats.
Yeah.
So this company bought 2 seasons worth, and then no more. They're done. They're on to the next thing, which is really difficult, but it's a free market, you know, and it's fashion, so bit of a challenge. Okay, so Raquel and Tanya came to my studio in Indiana in, when was that, October? And we looked at materials and tried to figure out how we were going to plan what we would do in the coming year. And we looked at things from Indonesia, from Madagascar, from Nepal, laid everything out, picked about 100 designs, and we're going to meet after this so we can try to hone that down a little. More is more in my book. The more you have to look at, the more creative you can get. And this is what we wove in Solokumbu. It started with the strip of paper that's currently used in fray. This is cut in half and used in fray. And we warped a loom, and Sarita and I wove this sampler. And you can look at this afterwards, but it's a starting point. This is where the conversation begins, and then we decide how can we fix the density, do we need to open it up more so the bond is better, what color should we do it in, etc. So these are all from these hot off the press trials. That's handmade paper mixed with raffia. That color didn't photograph too well. It's this one. Sort of a midnight blue. Black and white, I always think black and white's a good story. That's a very fine raffia. That's the painted paper, handmade paper. Okay, so that's what's in process, all connected to this larger idea. And last time I showed a lot more pictures of handmade paper, but there are 12 paper makers in the workshop up in Fafu, and they make these special frames to make this. So it's, I don't think there's anybody in the world doing strips.
No, in the beginning, they don't traditionally make little strips of paper like that. There's no use for little strips of paper like that. For hundreds of years, they've been making bigger pieces of paper to go into prayer books, they use in the monasteries. And at the beginning conversations, well, we like the edges, so could you make little strips of paper? And they said, oh no, that would be really hard. And then it took like 5 or 6 conversations with a lot of help from Docey and Lockman. I'm like, well, yeah, maybe we can make a screen so we can make these little strips of paper.
So
now, that's the one that's in everybody's favorite necklace, right?
And yes, and then this is cut in half, right down the middle.
That's cut in half.
Yeah. So this is engineered specifically for the sheets.
So you think about that, right? You're playing the gatherers. You saw the picture earlier that people who gather the lots of plant. And then it's created, goes into pulp here in this paper making workshop, and then they make the little strips of paper. And then, of course, the miracle of freeform material takes that and encapsulates it into a useful material that can then be a fashion item. It's quite remarkable, that whole story.
And because we support education, this program is an education, it's a work-study program. All the girls who make this paper are in school full-time. This is a part-time job for them. They work about 4 hours a day here, and they go to school 4 hours a day. And they live at the paper-making workshop. There's a dormitory upstairs, so we have about 8 people who sleep upstairs in the dorm. And altogether, there are 12 people involved with the workshop, and then all the gatherers, of course. So, okay. Then, I first went to Nepal 20 years ago. I totally fell in love with this little private monastery that about a 90-year-old woman was living in caretaking. And I said to Lakla, if this ever becomes available, let's talk about making it a craft center, a center of employment and study, a tourist center, a little tea house. Well, it turns out the paper making workshop was so badly damaged by the earthquake that they're going to tear that building down, the owner of that building. And so we have to move the paper making workshop about maybe 2 miles away, closer to Fafu. And this is what we're negotiating with the owner of this right now. And hopefully we'll get this. But this is the monastery. It's also an organic farm, so we would like to farm the fruits and vegetables. They've got apple trees and everything to supply the bed and breakfasts. So it's all part of one package. This is after the earthquake, however. So there's some damage, and what we're negotiating is that we would lease it in exchange for repairing it. And we would give the local, they're not exactly contractors, they're artisans who work in construction, so they would have work. This would all be done with local labor. Fix it up, move the paper making workshop there, and then the building in the front, this long skinny building, would become our weaving workshop. So it would move out of the top floor of the bed and breakfast, because that's supposed to be the library meeting room. It's not supposed to be a weaving room, but we needed a weaving room, so we borrowed it. So we would fix this little building up. The cows would still live downstairs, but we would have the weaving upstairs. And this happens to be the airport runway. Dropping tourists conveniently at our doorstep.
About 75% of the planes that land there actually do it safely, right? I mean,
Yeah, this is a safe. The famous Lukla runway, to which I had never been except in a helicopter. I'd never done landing there. But this time, the plane that I got in, it was a brand new Czechoslovakian plane, I think, or a Polish plane. And there were only 2 passengers going up to the mountains because there's so much trouble.
Just so you know, the Lukla runway is where you land to start your Everest. If you're going to Mount Everest, you typically land at Lukla, which is the next town.
The runway is so short that they built it going uphill so the plane can stop. So I'm in this little airplane with one other guy, and it turns out all the seats can fold up to turn it into a cargo plane. So they left 2 seats down, and everything else, construction material, loudspeakers, rice and milk, and the thing was just filled with all of this cargo, and then us crammed in 2 little seats. And we passed by the airport I wanted to go to. I was like, my ticket says I'm stopping in Fafu. No, aren't we stopping here? No, we have to go to unload all this stuff first. And then they picked up a full load of passengers and brought me back down to Fafu. But it was exciting, this uphill runway with a wall, a tall stone wall at the end. So if you don't make it, you're going to slam into this wall. So the Fafu runway is much more appealing if you don't want hair raising. So this is the monastery part, and we think this can be fixed. Probably, we got a quote of about $3,000 to $4,000 to fix this front building. So that'll go toward the rent, and it'll be a quid pro quo. So it's all traditional interior. And I would actually like to see the traditional interior stay as a Sherpa museum. So we're working on trying to make a mini museum on Sherpa lifestyle, and then use other parts of the monastery, open up the monastery part so the local people can use it for their prayers and their tradition, and then take about half of all the rest of the space and use it for workshops, artisan workshops. They also used to make apple schnapps. And we were thinking it might be fun to revive the apple schnapps. That's a traditional kitchen. This will be the tea room, we hope. beautiful pots. They keep the water in these pots because there's no running water. There will be running water.
Their electricity.
Yeah.